Alright, if you're here right now, then you probably want to know how to cut your wheels properly so that you can put bigger rims on your car if you're playing GTA 5 on PC. And let me be clear, this is only for PC. It's not for Xbox, PS4, fucking Sega, nothing. It's not for any game consoles. It's only on PC. You cannot do these mods on anything but PC. Alright? So anyway, I'm gonna show you how I do it. It's not by any means not the only way to do it or the most efficient way to do it or anything like that. I'm just showing you what I do. Because hey, when I was first starting out a few months ago, I wanted somebody to help me out, and wasn't that many people willing to do it, man. So this is my way to try to help out or whatever. So anyway, you need to import a file. I'm not gonna go into all this other stuff that you should already know. If you've gotten to this point, maybe I'll make another video later on to show you all this stuff. But if you're importing a file, it has to be unlocked. Okay, if it's not unlocked, then you will not be able to import it. So whenever you guys try to import a file and you're like, it's not doing anything, that means it's locked. So you got to find an unlocked file so that you can import it in. All right, so I'm going to go to File, Import, and today we're going to be working on the 1974 Chevy Caprice Vert. All right, so for here, in this specific case, what you see, I have two YFT files. The YFT files basically has all like the body of the car in it or whatever, right? The art of the car in it, and so you can. It just depends on the situation that you're in. In my situation right now, obviously the high.yft file is the one that has the most data in it, so that's the one that I will pick. If they both have the same amount of data in it, it does not matter which one you pick. All right, but rule of thumb is pick the one that has the most. If both of them are equal, then it doesn't matter. So the YFT file, like I said, is the actual art of the car. All right, so I'm gonna click that. All right, and then now I gotta upload the YTD file as well. The YTD file is the texture files. The texture files being the car's lights, the console, the symbols, like anything like the type of like the stitching in the seats, stuff like that, like textures or whatever. You have to upload that stuff with it. If you don't upload or have any textures or the correct textures on your vehicle, a lot of stuff won't show up, or the car will be glitching, and like it'll be glitching different colors and backgrounds and shit. So just make sure you do that. This stuff right here, I've never fooled with. Like, it came selected when I downloaded ZMODELER, and I've never changed it. So that's what I advise you to do as well. All right. So coming down here, I have a lot of other textures that I've already had in here from other projects. So right now, I'm going to add the texture for this vehicle. So that's that. Open. Now here, what I was telling you before, if it's locked, when you press import, it's not going to do anything but gray this button out where you won't be able to do anything with it. All right. But since this is unlocked, it's going to upload it for me. So it's going to be some errors right here. They don't matter. They always normally come up. It's very rare that I've seen them not come up. Don't panic. You're all right. All right. So you see all these dots and stuff right here. There's no level of detail selected at the moment. So right now what we're going to do is go to L0 so that we can actually see the car. All right. So you see here, 74 Chevy Caprice Vert. Spinning it around. So this 3D mode, I'm basically pressing left. I'm left clicking and I'm just rotating the mouse or whatever so I can see the car or whatever. All right. So that's how you have to do in the 3D window. From perspective, you have to press Alt and press left click and then do the same thing to see it. I'm not sure why they do these things like that. I'm not going to get into all of that, but if you're trying to turn one of these windows and it won't turn, press Alt and spin it around. Except when it comes to this stuff right here, like front, left, right, back, top. These don't spin around. All right. These are the views that you have them in. They don't spin around like this. Only the 3D views spin around. So anyway, what we're gonna do right now is, like I said, I probably do my stuff a lot different than everybody else. I think a lot of other people probably get their wheels as big as they want to get them at first, and then they go cut around them. I cut my wheel wells first, and then I put my wheels up there. So that's what we're gonna do today. I also cut different. A lot of people I seen they actually go like line by line and stuff and cut their wheel wells and stuff like that. And sometimes you do have to do that. But for what I'm doing today, and for what I want out of the vehicle, I'm not gonna have to do that. So I'm gonna show you a more efficient way or a faster way that I do it if you don't have these other things that you have to do instead. So anyway, we're going to go down here to the hierarchy. What I'm going to do is I am going to, if you see right here, this is obviously all of the parts of the car and everything like that. I'm not going to get into explaining all this stuff right now because I'm just trying to show you some stuff, and this video is probably already going to run long. But anyway, so I'm going to hide all this stuff. I only need two main things when I cut. I look for like the body of the car and the undercarriage, because the body of the car and the undercarriage will have the wheel well stuff in there. So that's what I want to cut. I don't want to cut one or the other. I like to cut both of them at the same time so I can get it done all at the same time. If you can see this down here, you see that it's saving. That's an automatic save that ZMODELER does. Excuse me, had to get something to drink. Anyway, but it's an automatic save. It's kind of annoying at times, but it can be a lifesaver if you forget to save your work. So anyway, so I unhighlight them all, and when you use different vehicles, some parts will be named different things. They're not all going to be named the same exact thing. You just need to find exactly what you need to get the stuff accomplished that you want. So normally, like chassis on other cars will be like the body shell of the car, but it's not here. It's actually just a dash. So I'm going to go down. I already know what it is. It's the body shell. So I want the body shell and I want the underbody. So I'm going to click on that. The reason why I want these two is because if I just do the body shell, right, and I don't do the underbody, then guess what? The body shell will be bigger. The wheel wells will be bigger, right? And then the underbody, it'll still have the same factory wheel wells. But in this case, right, you see that there's an engine in here, right? So when I actually modify the wheel wells on this, it might, the way that I'm going to do it, it might actually do something to the engine. I think it'll probably mess with the transmission a bit, but I don't care because I'm deleting this motor out. So I don't need to worry about that. But in your case, then you would probably have to do these separately, and you would have to go more in depth as far as cutting or whatever. And yeah, so anyway, I'm going to show you how I do it, and then I'll show you how, if you want to keep this motor and you didn't want it to be warped, whatever the case may be, I'll show you how you should probably go about doing it or whatever. Anyway, so body shell. So we click both of these. All right, so that's what I need. I'm also going to put the doors back on because they have the trim on it. And when I modify the wheel wells and stuff like that, it moves the trim and everything like that. And I just want to make sure that the body line stays the same. So I'm not doing any modification to the doors. I just want to make sure that it looks it has the right look, so that it's not all jacked up when I put it in the game. All right, so let me find the doors real quick. Bear with me. I am not editing any of this. Y'all gonna see everything, the stuff that I mess up on, because I still mess up on stuff from the time to time. I ain't afraid to admit it, man. It's all been a learning process. So anyway, so we got the doors up there. I'm also gonna put the bumper and the bumpers up there, because I want to see how it looks, how the wheel well looks with the bumpers up there, instead of seeing it later and then having to go back and redo work. So anyway, so right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold left click, and then I'm going to drag this over the whole body of the car, so it highlighted the whole car, right? And I'm going to go to vertex. Then I'm going to just click outside here. It's a bunch of dots, right? So these dots and stuff that you see, you can manipulate this stuff and just drag it around and do all kind of stuff with it. So let me go. This is the back button. All right. So what am I going to do now? So I'm going to scroll this out. So I like to have, when I'm modifying this stuff, I like to have like the views side by side. So I have this 3D view right here, and then I have this view that I'm modifying right here. So I can see exactly how it looks like real time when I'm actually modifying it. So again, the way that I'm doing it is not necessarily the way that a lot of people do it or whatever, but since I'm deleting this motor out, I'm doing it a faster way versus going dot by dot and trying to manipulate, little dots and stuff like that, whatever. Anyway, let's see. So I'm gonna go in here, and what I'm gonna do, this is the wheel well right here, right? This is the wheel well. So I'm gonna come right here. I'm gonna just try to go halfway in between, and I'm gonna go like up here. Yeah, I'll go up here. All right. And so if you see this up here, X and Y, if I have both of them clicked, when I move it, now I have to have this selected for what I'm doing or whatever, because I'm moving the wheel well in a different location, like I'm making it wider. But like say, if I come up here right now, I can move this wheel well in all kind of positions, right? And that would look fucking crazy. So we're gonna press back on that. And so I only want to move it left or right. And I don't want to have to like make mistakes or like whatever. So I'm going to turn Y off so that I can only move it left and right instead of moving it all around like we just seen. So I'm going to zoom back out. I'm going to zoom in on this somewhat. Matter of fact, let's go like that. There we go. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to come right here. And I can come anywhere over here and just click on something. And I'm going to start sliding it over. Sliding it over. Alright, so I don't want to make it super huge because I have a car like this already that I have built with really huge rims on it, but I just want this one to have bigger rims, but I still want it to just be closer to the ground. So as you can see, if you were paying attention, this right here, this is transmission, and I'm sure that was the part that did move. It really doesn't really make a difference to me right now, even if I was going to keep the motor, but it looks like yeah, it looked like right here it might have separated some. And then I could go back in there and connect these pieces if I wanted to. Or I could just do them separately to avoid that whole thing. But again, I'm taking this whole motor out of here anyway, and I'm putting a different one in there. So I don't care if I warp it or not. So, yeah. If you're lucky, in most cases and stuff, or for the particular vehicle that you're choosing, it'll be actually removable. This one is just a part of the body shell, so that sucks for somebody that doesn't know what they're doing. But if the engine is removable, then you can just unclick it or whatever, like this stuff is over here, and then you wouldn't have to worry about it, getting manipulated in the process. But again, I'm deleting that, so I'm not worried about that. And it keeps me from having to go in here and do stuff like this. So, and what I did right there, let me go back so you know exactly what I'm doing. So when I highlighted that, when I'm done with that and I want to go into something else, then you just left click, drag a box like that, it unhighlights it. All right, so then you can go to something else. But like, sometimes, depending on different things or whatever, like I've done custom lights or whatever and stuff that I wanted up here, like LEDs or whatever. And sometimes you will have to go like, you have to zoom in and you'll have to like go like dot by dot and manipulate stuff and to get it to look the way that you want to do it and stuff. So I think that's how a lot of people do their wheel wells. They put their wheels up here and then they go around or whatever, and then they go dot by dot or a little section by little section and stuff and manipulate it around there. But I ain't doing all that. I'm showing y'all how I do it, or how I'm doing this one anyway. Shit, excuse me. All right, so I'm gonna come back out. I think that I think I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger, but this time I'm gonna go this way. Alright, so got that. I'm gonna go. Alright, So I think that's as big as I really want it to be. Like I said, I don't want it to be crazy because I got one on like some 32s right now. So if you look up here, you can't even see anything. Like it didn't really manipulate the motor at all. But I know that it, you know, moved the transmission some. But you know, again, whatever. All right, so now I'm gonna move to the back. Alright, so we want this all in here. So what I'm gonna do, since it's so much room back here, I'm actually gonna go in here, start the box down here, halfway, then I'm gonna go like right there. Alright, come here, then let's see how that goes. Now I think that might be a little bigger than I want it to be. That shit looks huge, so we're gonna come back a little. And now it's auto saving again. So you can't do anything while it auto saves. Like you can't do anything in ZMODELER. You just gotta wait or whatever. So it's kind of annoying sometimes. But like I said, it's a lifesaver at times. I haven't ever really needed it because I always save my work. But so let me actually do that now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to file. I'm gonna save as. I'm gonna go back out. Where's my 74? 74 Caprice. And I'm gonna go to my Z3D file. So the Z3D file is basically what has like, it has all the information for that car in it. So you won't have to have like the 3 separate files. I might be misquoting as far as the YTD file goes. So I know it would have like both of the YFT files in there, and I'm assuming the YTD file. But again, yo, I'm still new at this shit too, so I'm still figuring this stuff out, man. So anyway, I want to make a new file. I'm just gonna name it 74 small cut. Save. So that way, while I'm doing my work, if ZMODELER crashes, if my computer cuts off, a light, you know, power failure, whatever, I still got my work. All right. So let me look at this and see if it's as big as I want it to be. Excuse me. So yeah, I would say that's about as big as I want it to be. So I'm good on that. Wait, hold on. Oh man, did I not? Shoot, what did I do? Yeah, that doesn't make sense. So I thought for a second, I was like, did I not highlight the body? Excuse me, the underbody? Because this right here looks funny. It looks like it didn't move. So what I'm gonna do is turn this up. Matter of fact, this is what I'm gonna do. Yeah, why didn't that move? That doesn't make sense. Alright, so that actually hasn't even happened to me before, but hey man, like I said, I'm gonna just keep it uncut so that y'all can see even when I make mistakes up here. So I thought since I had the whole thing highlighted that when I did this that the underbody would move too, but apparently it didn't. So that it really ain't no big deal. What we're going to do is this. I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to highlight all of this. And then I'm going to go back to here to object. So it puts it back in like, I guess normal features or whatever, right? So the whole thing is still highlighted. So what I'm going to do now, so I'm going to make a box to unhighlight it. And then what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take this body shell off. I'm going to highlight all of this. The doors don't matter, I don't care. I'm not manipulating the doors, but whatever. So I'm going to go back to vertex. Click over here. Alright, so now we got this here. So the front wheel wells weren't really a problem. There's the back wheel wells. So now I'm going to put the body shell back up there. So now that's not highlighted, right? So the body shell isn't highlighted, so I won't manipulate that when I do the wheel wells here. But I can see now this part right here, these parts right here is the parts that's showing right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag those over so that it's not showing like that. So I could just manipulate it like section by section or dot by dot, but I'm not doing all that shit. This is what I'm going to do. Drag that over. And if you see it right, if you're looking at this, you'll see that that stuff will disappear. So it won't be showing anymore. Boom, gone. Alright, let me see. I'm trying to see, is it showing like on the top too? I think it is. So I'm going to have to pull it up as well. Oh, something I also wanted to, I don't think I mentioned it already. When you do it from the view like this, left to right, or even front to back, whatever you do on one side when you're in these positions is going to do to the other. Not in the 3D positions. Whatever you do in the 3D positions is just going to, just depending on what position you're in 3D position, it'll just, I would say, expect to have to do all of them. Like if you were to do it in a 3D position or whatever, then you would need to go to the other side and check your work or make sure that you didn't manipulate something. Like if I do something, like let me show you something real quick. I'm gonna go to the user ID portion. Let's see, not user ID, but user. Alright, so this is 3D, but I can manipulate it in this position, right? But like, say, you see these dots right here, right? So like say if I wanted to manipulate this door right here, so that just did something right there. But like, yeah, if I wanted to manipulate this door and do this, right? Well, you see how it does something over there, right? So I can think that I'm doing something to the door, just this door over here, and I'm moving it. But now, when I thought I just did something to the door, look, it messed with this up here. You see what I'm saying? So that's why you have to be careful if you do stuff in 3D mode or any mode, honestly, because basically whatever side that is kind of mirrored up with, like, luckily when you're doing it from left or right, this, that, and the other, the sides are symmetrical. But when you do it in the user ID portion, right, you see it's just whatever side that it's facing with, it'll manipulate it. So we're gonna press back. I just wanted to show you that real quick. I know this video is running kind of long, but I'm just trying to be like somewhat thorough because I know I had a lot of questions when I was going through this shit, and you know, kind of skipped through stuff. So anyway, all right. So we're gonna get out of that mode. We're gonna go to left. All right. So let's go back here. Let's turn this around. All right. So now we're gonna take this right here. We're gonna pull that back. So we're gonna go like that, and we're gonna pull it back. Let's do it some more. Alright, so now what I think I actually need to do is take this and move it up. So we're going to switch it. We're going to turn Y back on. We're going to turn X off. Alright, and what we're going to do now, we're going to draw this big box. And you see this right here? I'll move that out of the way. Whoops, hold on. Now let me make sure I didn't mess with anything in the trunk. Alright, so what I gotta make sure of from doing this is that when I highlight everything, that it's not going up in the trunk, showing up in other places and stuff where it looks stupid. But I didn't want that showing. So we good there? Alright. Cool. Cool. Alright, so that's how I do my wheel wells. Now, again, you can go into it if you want, and you can manipulate it like line by line. Like, I don't know, say if I wanted to like pull this down here or whatever. I don't know, maybe I'll just do that. Wait, hold on. I'll turn both of them on so I can actually manipulate the whole thing. So maybe I will come down there and do that. You see what I'm saying? And you're pulling this line up here. Then maybe I'll come over here and then pull this line over here or whatever. So I think that's how a lot of people do their stuff. But for this particular project, I didn't need to do all of that. So let me make sure that it looks right for my 3D. So that looks right so far. Alright, cool. Alright, so for the underbody, also, matter of fact, let's go to user ID. Or not, I keep saying user ID. Anyway, so let's turn this around. So like this motor right here, right? So a lot of people probably get pissed off. Like, that's what happened to me in the beginning or whatever. I'd be trying to like do motor swaps. And I'm like, oh man, somebody made this engine a part of like the underbody or the chassis. Like, I can't move it or whatever, right? So you see all these dots up here, right? So you can just come up here and like boom, press delete, gone, right? But you see that it obviously I'm not gonna do it like that or whatever, but it deleted a whole bunch of the part, like a whole bunch of the car body and this, that, and the other or whatever. I'm not gonna do it like that. It's gonna take some more intricate like work for me to actually delete it out of there or whatever. But just for like to keep from taking all the time to show you all that stuff, I'm just showing you like, okay, if you wanted to delete this stuff out of here, this is how you do it. So you can go up there, highlight what you want to delete out of there, and press delete. But obviously, I'd have to take my time doing it or whatever, and making sure that I don't delete other stuff out there that I want. So I've done this before already, but like, let's see, for this position, like, okay, like maybe, like, probably here, I would probably just like, see, this would be a little harder just because, you know, it's stuff under it. So whenever you like, you can't even like come up here and just delete this whole thing like that, because then you delete everything under it or whatever. Now, if you want to delete everything under it, then cool. But, you know, like I said, it takes a little bit more intricate work to actually do this. But, you know, you would go section by section or whatever. Like, let's say I want to delete this, and then, you know, this is the air cleaner and stuff like that. So like, I'm taking this off, and then you just go like section by section and stuff. But like, see, I highlighted the actual engine block. So if I delete that, see, it's gonna delete. Wait, it didn't even do it that time. I don't know why it didn't delete. See, it deleted a part of the engine block. I wouldn't want that. So you just gotta be careful, man, or whatever. So like, if I just wanted to delete the air breather, right? So going around, but see, it still deleted some of the engine block. So you just gotta like, you know, just take your time and just like go through different angles and stuff like that, and manipulate it and stuff in a way so that you're only deleting the stuff that you want to delete or whatever. So just showing you just a little bit of what you have to do when you get into more like custom stuff and you want to put motors in, and then they, you know, somebody designed the car where the motor is a part of the body and you want to get rid of it Alright, and yeah, man, you can delete any of this stuff. Like any of the stuff on the car, you can delete it, add whatever you want. You can manipulate the lines. You can do custom fitting for everything. So all that stuff, like all the people that like stuff, like boxes in their trunk and stuff, and fiberglass, all that stuff, you can manipulate all that to a custom fit by just playing with these lines, man. And again, man, I'm not a pro, I'm not an expert, so it's definitely people up here that know far more than me, and that probably know a more efficient way to do things. But hey, this is a video that I'm putting out here for y'all so that y'all will have a place to start from, man. And y'all won't have to keep getting ripped off and stuff, paying $200 for somebody to do a car for you and stuff. And if you like me, I constantly want new cars. So, you know, that get expensive constantly asking somebody to make you a car all the time or whatever. Learn how to do that shit yourself, man. And then hell, you can start making money off of it. But anyway, I know I was all over the place, man. That's my ADD and shit, man. So, but hopefully, you understood mostly what I was saying or whatever. Hopefully, this video helps you out. If you want me to put some more stuff up here or try to explain some stuff further, then just let me know in the comments, man. Again, I'm still pretty much a beginner myself, but I put some cars in the, I think in the video. I'm going to put some cars in the video or pictures of cars and stuff that I've done so you can see, you know, what I'm actually doing now or whatever. So, and when I say I'm a beginner or whatever, I am a beginner, but you know, like the cars, you'll see anyway. But yeah, man, thanks for watching my video. Again, hopefully it's a big help to you, man. And main thing, man, I want to push throughout this whole thing, man, like when I first started, man, I got into to this, and I'm really into cars, man. I just thought it was gonna be like a big thing and have some camaraderie with people. And I see a lot of people like, you know, beef with people and stuff, or like, you know, just have like bad blood with people and this, that, and the other. And you know, like that ain't what I'm here for, man. I can get along with anybody, and I'm willing to help anybody. But also, you gotta understand that people like time is money. So if you think somebody's gonna sit here and just give you a lesson, like a one-on-one lesson and stuff for hours on end, like that's just not that doesn't make any sense at all. But you know, for questions and stuff like that, I can see, you know, people should answer questions. We should be able to help each other out or whatever, man. So anyway, yeah. So again, hope this helped out. And subscribe, like, and yeah, I'm out, man. Thanks for watching.